Welcome back again to 843 TV. We're continuing our segment today on the Intricate Oceans exhibit that's opening very soon here. And let us remind everyone of the date.
It runs through March 24th, so it's actually a good long run. People have time to get here, and we'll have different programming during that period.
Well, we're going to take a look at this wonderful detailed exhibit that's getting assembled behind us. And Rex here, by the way,
Yes.
Thanks for joining us,
Sure.
Rex. And you're working very diligently on putting this together. So talk about the process here.
Yeah, so Courtney actually has some layouts that you can see on the wall, and we mapped it all out, got her approval. But then there are 400 individual pieces where you have to drill holes. All the nails are different sizes, all different size drills, and then you have to piece them all in to this coral reef. And so it's both fun and nerve-wracking because they're really delicate pieces.
Absolutely. And again, if Joe can get on those, each one is so specific and detailed. I mean, you were working so hard earlier to do this. Give us an idea of the time it's taking to put this together.
It takes the artist, when she installs it, about 3 days to do this install, and she knows what she's doing. So,
yeah, exactly, right. Okay.
I planned on it might take me 4 days.
Right. So folks can come here and they can take a look at each individual piece that's been created. Do you want to talk about any of the little pieces, like what each one might represent, or?
Well, there's corals, there's anemones, there's these staghorn corals, these sort of siphon corals. But one of the things that I thought was really fascinating, because when you're installing this for 3 or 4 days, you have lots of time to think.
A close look, yes.
And I always tell my son to close the refrigerator door because he's killing polar bears by leaving it open.
Okay.
And so this, I think, when I see the grate and the corals coming out of it, I've been thinking a lot. And so I think, oh yeah, that's every time we crank up the heat in our houses or crank down our air conditioning, we're also impacting the corals by these rising sea temperatures because of our carbon dioxide. And so I think all these pieces have meaning like that. That's really interesting. And one of the great things about coming to a museum exhibit is you can interpret all of this art for yourself and think about it and think of what it means. And so I'd encourage people when they come here to actually spend some time in the gallery, really looking at these amazing pieces up close and thinking about art and the environment.
Absolutely. Of course, we're here on an island, and so even more up close and personal to think about and take a look at.
Yeah.
So as far as this particular piece here, this will be up. We took a look at some of the others on the wall here. What other pieces or artists would you like to share about with everyone?
Yeah, Stephanie Kilgast, who's one of the other artists, she has these beautiful watercolors that show life on land constructed by humans, sort of transitioning to these coral reefs underwater. And I think it really shows how our world is interconnected. And we don't think about coral reefs all the time because we're living in this built environment, but there's a whole other built environment undersea that's been built by these beautiful corals. And so we're not the only builders on the planet. And it's nice to be able to think to put ourselves in perspective that yes, there are these other massive structures on the earth that were built by these little tiny animals that are living undersea.
Now, we talked to Elizabeth earlier about this was really kind of her inspiration over a long course of time. So how does it work between the two of you? When you have an idea and you two work closely together, when you're thinking about what exhibits to bring to the museum, how does that work?
Yeah, and so one of the things that we really look at with our exhibitions is how they fit with our mission to inspire people to care for the Lowcountry. And so that's a really important characteristic. Even if we're bringing in these great artists from around the world, we want to make sure that it has some local impact and it inspires people here to take some action. And that's one of the big criteria we use for exhibitions, not just that we like the work and it's beautiful, but that it's impactful for people on the island who come see it.
And obviously those of us who live here and those that come throughout the year. And so we're going to again take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about what else can you do at this Coastal Discovery Museum at other times of the year. So stay right here. We'll be right back.